Weed you.
Do we do?
Because this is a teachable moment.
So yes, once again, it is terpenes. And our lovely science slide. But this week we're going to talk about myrcene.
Have mercy.
Guess what's
Been waiting all week to use that joke.
I was not going. Honestly, it never occurred to me, and now I'm kind of embarrassed that I didn't think of it.
Oh, good. I'm embarrassed that I did think of it. So,
Myrcene, guess what it tastes like?
uh, I'm thinking it either tastes like mango or chains.
Definitely smells like mango. Yes.
Smells like mango, tastes like chains.
Or okay, that's stretching it. It is fruity. It doesn't smell like mango, but mango's fucking full of it.
Mango's
There
full of.
is mango is full of myrcene, and we're gonna learn how to make that work for us, kids. So I know some of you out there are like, can I get higher? How high
Yeah,
can I get? Can I get too high? You cannot get too high. But I don't know. Sometimes you can get high enough. But if you want to get higher,
I've been too high.
you want to max out your high. You want to max out your. Maybe you just got a little bit of bud. You want to get as high as you can get off your tiny amount of bud. Here's what you do: 45 minutes before you're gonna smoke, you eat you a mango. Eat you a big fucking mango.
How important is the timing here?
Very,
Okay.
very, because you need to digest it. You want to digest it and get it in your bloodstream. You don't want to wait too long because then it is no longer in your bloodstream. What you're shooting for is I ate a mango. The mango is full of myrcene. Myrcene gets in my bloodstream. Myrcene in my bloodstream is making those cells that attract your cannabinoids, your cannabinoid receptors. It's making them more permeable so they can take in more of that sweet, sweet THC, CBD, CBG, CBN, whatever it is that you're chasing. You're getting more of it in the cells if you have the myrcene ahead of you.
Found only in mangoes.
No, it's not found only in mangoes, but if you got to eat something full of myrcene, uh, you could have a mango or you could have a handful of cloves.
I will take
Yummy,
the mango.
yummy, yummy cloves.
I'll take the
Uh,
mango.
but you know that is maybe why when you were a teenager you like to smoke them clove cigarettes,
I
and
did
that
actually.
it
I
kind of
went through a
makes me feel
phase.
pretty good. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's full of myrcene. But no, seriously, seriously, eat that mango. It will elevate your high. More bang for your buck.
How much are we talking?
I mean, it will vary, I'm sure.
Sure.
Depends on how you absorb myrcene. I don't know. But
But it's worth trying.
here's the thing: if it doesn't work, you had a mango and you got high.
Yeah. Oh, carrots and bell pepper as well?
Carrots and bell pepper. Not as much, but they still have a decent amount. Cloves, apricots, hops. A lot of myrcene. And
We'll just
hops,
drink a
let's
bunch of
go
beer.
into beer.
Yeah.
Which shouldn't be a huge surprise because hops, there's some other reasons why hops are a little bit related to weed.
I think we covered one of those last week, but I might
We
be.
did. We
Okay.
did. Caryophyllene is
Caryophyllene.
is also in the hops.
Our old
Uh,
friend caryophyllene.
but again, a lot of things are because weed, cannabis, and hops. We might even talk more about that at some point. Man, craft beer, craft weed, it's closer than you think. Uh, but where was I going? Uh, oh no, fuck it. Let's just say it now. So with hops, if you don't know much about hops, there's as many strains of hops as there are of weed. And your craft beer makers are out there chasing these different hops down. to try to get the different flavors out of them to make unique and different beers and better flavors and things. They're chasing the terpenes. And it's not an accidental thing. Like I have gone to their discussion rooms and things and seeing them discuss these terpenes, man. Here's what I want. I want this strain because it has the, and they're talking about the different strains of the hops with the different terpenes in them, like a lot of your craft weed growers now are doing. They're breeding, chasing these terpenes and trying to increase the level of them to get the better flavors and the better effects. There's a lot of similarities
Hmm.
in the two movements. And they center around our wonderful terpene friends. So it's like
Small
terpenes,
batch artisanal.
small batch artisanal weed. And like the good craft weed guys now, there's a I should have made a slide of this. There's a QR code on every bottle of weed, and many of the growers do this. I scan that code and I can see not only the potency test that was run, all, and they're testing for like 8 or 9, 12 cannabinoids now. So you see
Hmm.
CBG levels. Like this actually has a pretty high CBG level. I didn't know. Uh, but a lot of them now also are having it tested for terpenes, and you've got a list of the terpene profiles.
Nice.
And you can see what you're smoking if you're into that sort of thing. Also, though, fuck, man, these guys are making some good weed. You know, it's just you may chase, you may just go, oh, it's yummy, tasty, and it gets me really, really pretty high.
Exactly.
But yeah, there's a lot of myrcene out there. It's in like 200 varieties of food. It's a fairly common. It's not the most common, but it's up there. Now another one, verbena. Look at that, 40% myrcene by weight. That's a lot of myrcene. So I guess you could chew up some verbena leaves.
Is that a commonly found thing? I'm looking at
No,
those
I.
leaves and I'm like, I don't know that I've ever
Oh
seen
yeah,
a
the
verbena
gardens.
leaf.
You see them a lot of times in people's yards as a garden
Really?
plant.
Okay.
We had a verbena when we lived in Austin.
Verbena
It's
tree,
it
very
it is used
pretty,
in
and the verbena flower is sweet. Sorry.
like I don't know. I've had like seen verbena scented lotions and things as well. So it's harvested for its essential oils.
So eat some lotion before smoking pot, is what you're saying.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Please
Just,
don't. No one do
no,
that.
no. Just again, just chew the leaves. Just chew
Chew
the
the
leaves.
leaves. Yeah.
No,
Don't eat
don't.
lotion.
Do not chew verbena leaves. I don't even know if they're poisonous or not. Do not chew verbena leaves. Do not take. Don't take my advice after I told you to eat the mangoes, which you should take that advice. But
Both the leaves and flowers are edible for
okay,
verbena.
good. So yeah, fuck it. Eat some verbena.
Yeah, eat them. They're bitter. Quite bitter, it says. But you won't
Hey,
die.
hey, some people are into that sort of thing.
True.
I had a bitter beer. Myrcene is the most common terpene you're going to find in cannabis. So it's in a lot of things. Why does cannabis make you kind of relaxed? A lot of it. Myrcene. Myrcene is the terpene queen. There's a song there somewhere, but I ain't got time to think of it. Okay, now here's what's fucking cool. And I'm sorry the slide got messed
Oh,
up,
hashish.
evidently.
Is that NE supposed to be on there?
It's it's uh
Hashish
it's
NE?
it's HASHISHENE. It's a new terpene, hashishene.
Oh, I thought that was
And
just
by
saying
new,
hashish.
I mean nobody had ever noticed this before until very, very recently. It was an unknown terpene because it only exists, and now they're finding out this is about 98% true. So 98, 99% of all the hashishene, as it's called, in the
Hashish.
world is found not just in hash, but specifically Moroccan hash. It has to be Moroccan hash is the only place you find this terpene.
Well, where am I supposed to get Moroccan hash?
Morocco. No, oddly enough, anywhere in Europe, this this is what most people in Europe smoke because weed is illegal in many places in Europe. Weed is hard to smuggle.
Uh,
They have access to Moroccan hash, which is easy, not easy, but easier to smuggle because it's small and compact, and you only need a little bit of it to get high. So, yeah, you don't. Like, where would I ever see this in Europe? This is what people smoke all the fucking time. Like, that's what you can get. I know.
legally or no?
No, not even
Okay.
legally, but like when I went to Norway recently, my friends were like, uh, we were we got some flour because we knew where you were coming, but they mostly smoke hash because that's flour's hard to come by,
Yeah.
and most of it comes in from Morocco, which is just across the Mediterranean. So here's the thing, in Morocco, the way they cure the weed when they take it off the plant is they just put it on the roof and they let the sun dry it. The hot, hot Moroccan sun, full of UV rays, baking this fucking weed. Whereas most of us are going to put it in the closet, we're going to dry it out in the closet and keep it in the dark. Uh, no, it's in the hot, hot sun. And then they, when it's fully dry, they start sifting it to get the trichomes to fall off the flower. Also in the sun. So all of this oxygen and UV rays, where again, when we cure weed, it's in the dark, and a lot of times it's in an airless bottle, and then we let the humidity out and we keep it out of the air again because we don't want the oxygen breaking shit down.
Right.
In hash, oh, it's breaking down, baby. And the myrcene is turning into this new terpene, hashishene.
Well, now I'm on a quest. Now I need to find some Moroccan weed or Moroccan hash.
Moroccan hash is it's good. Like if you're into hash, it is fucking good
Do
hash.
they sell hash at dispensaries?
I have not seen any here. I used to get some in Colorado. It was mostly American hash, which is either like bubble hash or some sort of a cold extraction hash,
Hmm.
and not the Moroccan hash. I found one dispensary in Denver that
That
that would
that had Moroccan hash?
they would regularly carry Moroccan hash. It was expensive, but I don't know. Is it experience?
Yeah,
It's
an experience because hashishine.
yeah. Turns out
Yeah,
because of that.
who knew? No one until recently.
No. And here's what's really funny. Guess how they found out? How they
Let me
found
see if
it?
I can hold on. I used to drink Heffenreffer, which had the little puzzles based on
Yeah.
pretty pictures. So,
I made this puzzle, by the way.
all right. So the scientists asked this drug dog. And the drug dog said, "Fuck you, scientists. I'm not telling you anything." They said, and then the robot dog told them. The robot dog found the hashishine.
Right. No.
No.
No, the scientists were trying to figure out a way to get rid of the drug sniffing dogs and replace them with robots.
Oh, okay. Good.
So they were trying to no fuck these guys because they're helping the pigs, man. Uh,
Well, that's but these dogs are helping the pigs against their wishes.
okay,
No
fair
dog
enough.
wants to be a
Fair
narc.
enough. Yeah, let's save the dogs.
Right.
Okay. So okay, I'm sorry, scientists. Uh, but yeah, so they're trying to get a scent profile, and what they're testing because they're in Paris is 15 grams of Moroccan hash is where they're pulling their scent profile, and they realize what's this? This doesn't match anything we've ever seen before,
Mhm.
and that's how we discovered hashishene, and that's why they named it hashishene because you can only find it in hash
Very cool.
or flour that is left in high amounts of oxygen and high UV rays, like you would get in northern Africa. So hashishene, It's herbaceous. It's spicy. It's earthy. It's musky.
Everyone's favorite scent, musk.
Again, kind of herbal, but kind of an earthy herbal, a dirty herbal.
Mm,
A little bit of cloves maybe. So it's just a touch of spice. Gets mixed in with a lot of other stuff. Who knows? Again, what you're looking for there, though, a lot of times is what's dominant. You're going to have four, five, six terpenes, six of the big ones, sometimes in flower, but there's high levels of one or two, and that's where you're going to pick up the most effects. Sometimes, the two of them will mix, and you may not get cloves because something else is overtaking it. But I digress. It's
you
a
do.
rule of thumb. But when it's dominant, then's when you might get that sweet or fruity flavor, like a mango,
It all
which is
comes back
also a
to
little different from
mangoes.
your other fruits. There's something I don't know how to describe it, but there's something in the palate, I guess, that it smells a little different in my taste buds, if that makes any sense.
Now I'm sitting here thinking about whether or not I've even ever had a mango in my
No,
entire life.
really?
I
Oh
know
wow.
I've had
You
mango
should.
juice for sure.
You should. It's
Um,
it's good.
I've had mango like flavored things, but I'm not sure if I've ever had like a fresh mango. And even though we just saw pictures of them a little while ago, I'm not even sure how. Does it have a pit? Does it have skin? I don't know. I don't think I've had a
I've never
mango.
cut one myself. I've had them served. I think it has a pit
Okay,
and there is a skin. But oh, there's a fruiteria. I never know how to pronounce that word anymore because I don't live
sure.
there. But
One of
there's
those.
one on North Lamar that makes some really good stuff with mango in it, and you can get some tahini on it. Boy, do that.
Okay.
Do that. It is yummy. So yeah, think mango. What's it gonna do for me? So not knowing what it was, plants that are high in myrcene have been used as sleep aids for centuries. Anti-inflammatory effects, so it's great if you have rheumatism, arthritis, any sort of inflammatory stuff. And keep in mind, you don't just have to smoke this. You can get creams that are infused
Mhm.
with full spectrum extracts, and they'll still have a lot of these terpenes in them. Anti-anxiety, analgesic, which is going to help with pain. I can definitely attest to that. Also, the anti-anxiety, it's good for that. I like to think, especially with this one, is I have anxiety, and this is weed that doesn't make me anxious.
Always a good thing.
Whereas there's a couple of terpenes I have to stay away from because if I'm not in a social situation, it's not a good time.
Yeah.
If I'm in a social situation, I'm usually down, but depends on what it is. So antipsychotic, they think they're starting to see that this could help with some psychotic symptoms, uh, psychosis, that is muscle
Could
relaxant,
help
which
all of us.
which kind of goes
Or the
along.
us in my head.
And this is weird. They feel like, and not feel like, they've seen this in studies on mice, that it helps control the growth of existing cancers. It may also help prevent some cancers,
Well,
but
sign me up.
it slowed the growth of tumors
That's a big one.
in rats. Now the flip side, because we have to be fair, we have to be honest. There have been some studies that show that in high concentrations, when taken as a food additive, to be specific, that it could be carcinogenic itself. Not like, oh my God, it's nicotine, but one of those, well, you might have had this much percentage and now you have this much,
Okay.
which big picture is probably not a lot, but it's enough that anything that might have myrcene in it in California may be labeled as possibly being carcinogenic. Uh, the FDA did go back later and they said that their belief is that you would have to consume this in insane amounts as a food additive. Not in any sort of normal dosage, but like I'm going to eat me a bowl of Myrcene
Right. So
every
there's really
day.
no way that this would accidentally happen.
I think it's worth mentioning. If you're on the careful side, don't eat Myrcene. Well, don't eat it as an additive
The
is the
raw,
thing. Yeah.
undiluted form. You
Yeah.
can still have
Normal,
mangoes.
eat a mango.
Yeah.
But smoke
Or
some weed.
some
You're
cloves.
you're fine. Smoking it, nobody said was a problem.
Yeah.
Oh, also never touch, like, if anybody gives you, hey, I made some Myrcene. I have some raw undeleted Myrcene that I'm going to
Happens.
use as a food additive. Do not touch it.
Right. Gloves.
It will
I keep
irritate
gloves
you.
on me just in
And
case, just
and
because of all
and
the times people are coming up to me and giving me
and
Myrcene.
never eat a spoonful of it.
Right. It will
What,
burn
what
a hole straight
what's
through
the
your throat.
saying? You can eat all mushrooms once.
I did. I haven't heard that saying, but I like it.
Yeah, all mushrooms are edible once.
Yeah.
Uh, Same thing with undiluted Myrcene. Now, where can I find Myrcene? These are just some of the strains, of course. Some of these I picked, however, definitely the ones at the top. It just so happens these are some of my favorite strains. Uh, Now, again, Myrcene's in a lot of weed, so
Mhm.
still, these have been known to have some higher levels, like Remedy, which again, honestly, is usually a CBD strain for me. It's always a high CBD strain, and Harlequin is the same. I used to smoke a lovely little Harlequin strain when I was in Boulder. My medical dispensary always had Harlequin. Nice little daytime smoke because you're not going to get high. You're not going to get too high. You get a little high, but can't get too high. You can smoke a lot of it. Uh, Very relaxing. 9 Pound Hammer, I fucking love. Grape Ape, White Widow. Love me some White Widow. But then you got to sing the Billy Idol song. It's a nice day for some White Widow.
Yeah. What a classic. Og Kush. Who doesn't like some Og Kush?
Blue Dream. Love some Blue Dream. So
Some
yeah.
Natty Perp.
And do you know what FPOG is?
I believe it stands for French Promenade Original Gangsta. I have no idea.
I
Is one of
like
those
it.
words right?
I like it.
I like
No, none of them. So remember we were talking about how you couldn't call Girl Scout cookies anymore?
I do.
You got to call it GSC now
Yeah.
because of the lawsuit. So this is Fruity Pebbles.
What's the OG stand for then?
Fruity Pebbles OG, original.
All
Fruity
right, so
Pebbles
I was
OG, original
I had one
gangsta.
word. Oh,
So yeah.
two words right.
And then you came up with two because you said
Yeah,
original gangster.
I
So
did.
yeah. That's right. I'm sorry. You did get
No,
two
no,
right.
no, it's okay.
I was focusing on the pebbles.
You were.
Do you like Fruity Pebbles more than chocolate pebbles?
Yeah, of course I do.
I didn't.
Really? See, I
Uh,
mean, chocolate pebbles to me just taste like any other chocolate cereal with that consistency. But Fruity Pebbles, the milk that's left behind in a
oh,
bowl of
okay.
Fruity Pebbles,
Yeah. You got me. You got me. Cereal milk with Fruity Pebbles is awesome. Yeah.
nothing better.
Yeah. Uh,
Except for maybe Cinnamon Toast Crunch milk.
I had a Rice Krispie treat that was made with Fruity Pebbles.
Oh,
So good.
okay.
I was really high, but
Well, of course,
I always
it's
am.
illegal to eat something like that if you're not really high. But
Yeah,
that sounds amazing.
but I always am.
Do you remember Rice Krispies Treats cereal?
I only had it like once, but it was good.
Dude, it was so good.
You ever have Peep cereal?
No, is that a real thing?
It is
Is it
at East
new?
at Easter. A couple years now. Couple years. 3 or 4.
Is
They
it just marshmallows and no
no.
grain?
There's like cereal rings
Yeah,
that are kind of vanilla-y flavored, and actually kind of tasty. They got a little
nice.
coating on them, and then marshmallows, all different colors of marshmallows,
You can't have anything called Peeps without
and
marshmallows.
it's very peepsy. It's
Nice.
like, oh, it's so good, and it makes really good cereal milk.
I bet.
If you use the vanilla almond milk, especially, then it's like, oh.
Yeah, you like the almond milk?
But the vanilla, they do have almond milk with vanilla in it.
Gotta be vanilla. Okay.
Oh, so good. No, the regular is fine. It's fine. Oh, now you're making me think of my cupcake.
Yeah. Before we
Okay,
go, you should tell everybody
so
about the
before we go,
cupcake
I'm
giveaway.
going to tell you the saddest cupcake story ever.
I wish we had a sound effect right now. I
And
feel
it
like there
goes
should be like
without saying.
some slow piano music playing in the background.
I'll light up for this. So my wife comes home yesterday afternoon, and she says, "Hey, I brought you half a cupcake." And I don't think anything of it. I'm half paying attention, like, "Yay, cupcake! I like cupcakes. I'll eat it later." Uh, and she kind of told me a story about why it was half a cupcake, and I half listened. I mean, I fully listened, but uh, when you're in that zone, it just kind of you process it and then it goes away.
You did your
But
best.
but it was something along the lines of I didn't want a whole cupcake, so I just cut it in half, and I was going to eat half and leave half, but I brought the other half to you. I thought of you and thought you might like a cupcake, which was so sweet. So after dinner, I smoke a little more. I get high. Honestly, it was this. It was the first joint I had rolled up of this blueberry muffin. So, whew, I got high. Like, oh, I'm gonna go eat that cupcake. And friends, I don't know if it's just because I was high. I don't think so because I'm always high and I eat a lot of food when I'm high. This might have been the best half of a cupcake I ever had in my life. It was a caramel, and then there was caramel in the whipped cream too, and it was a like deep dark caramel, like somebody had slaved over this car. It was so good. It was. I wanted another cupcake, and like I want another one of these cupcakes. I'm like, where did this come from? So I can go get one. I don't know. The, there was a tray that said leftover from a meeting. Take a cupcake. So I just took one. I have no idea where this cupcake came from. And it was at that moment that it hit me that
Da, da, da,
that's it.
da.
That's the only time you're going to get to taste that cupcake.
Da,
It's my unicorn now.
da,
I don't even know how to search for this cupcake,
da.
but I'm going to look at it. I'm going to look at it this way. I had some.
It is better to have had a cupcake and lost and to never have a cupcake
All
again
right. What
than
if I
to have
had
never
never
had a cupcake
had a
at all.
cupcake at all?
So if anyone ever discovers this show later on and is listening and is from the New England area and they
Hanover.
Hanover,
New Hampshire, to be
Hanover, New
specific.
Hampshire, and they know of a place that has a deep, deep caramel cupcake that would make an old man cry because he can't have it again.
Because they can't have it again. Hook me
Please.
up. Hook
And
me
if
up.
you get hooked up, please let me know so that I can try one too, and I can also fall in love because that's what I need in my life is to fall in love with even more sweets.
Oh man, I love them.
Oh, I love them too. Comes with the weed, doesn't it? And on
Uh,
that note,
change your bog water.
change your bong water. It's been a
It's
pleasure.
it's
Thanks for joining
time to
us.
change the bong water.
And as always, as long as we can remember our login info next week, we will see you right here on Gear Wizard TV.
I never know how to end these things.
Change your bong water, everybody.
Rock on, my friends. We'll see you next time.